Ancient armored worm redefines animal evolution. Freshwater Lobopodian discovery. Imagine uncovering a secret that rewrites the history of life on Earth. That's exactly what happened when scientists revealed an armored worm hiding in plain sight for over 160 years. This isn't just any fossil. It's a game changer, challenging everything we thought we knew about ancient creatures and their evolution. And here's the kicker. It didn't live in the ocean like its relatives. Instead, it thrived in freshwater. So, how did this discovery come about and why does it matter so much? Let's dive in. For more than a century, a peculiar fossil was misidentified as everything from a caterpillar to a millipede or even a marine worm. But thanks to modern technology and fresh perspectives, researchers have finally set the record straight. The creature, now named Palaeocampa anthrax, is actually a lobopodian, a soft-bodied ancestor of today's arthropods, such as insects and spiders. What makes this revelation groundbreaking is not only its classification but also its habitat. Unlike other known lobopodians, which were marine dwellers, Palaeocampa lived in freshwater environments, making it the first non-marine example of its kind ever discovered. It's also the youngest lobopodian fossil on record, bridging gaps in evolutionary understanding. This fossil mystery began back in 1865 when specimens were first unearthed from two locations, the Maison Creek deposits in Illinois and Montceau-les-Mines in France. For decades, paleontologists scratched their heads over these strange remains. Fast forward to today, and a team led by Richard Knecht, a Harvard-trained paleontologist, has cracked the case wide open. Their findings, published in Communications Biology, describe Palaeocampa as a freshwater lobopodian with features unlike anything seen before. Using cutting-edge imaging techniques and spectroscopy, the team analyzed over 40 specimens stored in museums worldwide. What they found was astonishing. The creature sported 10 pairs of segmented legs, a protective head shield, and nearly 1,000 bristle-like spines arranged symmetrically along its body. These spines, some reaching lengths twice the width of its body, hinted at a unique adaptation for survival. But there's more. These weren't ordinary spikes. They held a hidden chemical weapon. The real twist came when researchers examined the tips of those spines using Fourier-transform infrared spectroscopy, FTIR. They uncovered traces of organic compounds consistent with aldehydes, chemicals commonly used by modern invertebrates as deterrents against predators. This marks the first-ever evidence of chemical defense in a lobopodian. According to the study, the toxin wasn't injected like venom but likely oozed out passively under stress, adding another layer of protection alongside its physical armor. But here's where it gets controversial. Could this mean lobopodians were far more advanced than previously believed? Or does this discovery simply highlight how much we still don't know about prehistoric life? Either way, it sparks fascinating questions about the complexity of ancient ecosystems. So, where did Palaeocampa call home? Half of the known fossils hail from Montceau-les-Mines, a tropical inland region surrounded by coal forests during the Carboniferous period. There's no sign of marine influence there, suggesting a purely freshwater environment. The rest were found at Maison Creek, a site known for its mix of terrestrial, freshwater, and marine fossils. Together, these clues paint a picture of a versatile creature that may have been amphibious, capable of navigating both land and water. Interestingly, Palaeocampa's closest relative is Hadronax augustus, a deep-sea lobopodian from Greenland dating back to the Cambrian era. The evolutionary leap between these two species spans nearly 200 million years, underscoring just how rare and significant this find truly is. Most lobopodians are preserved in marine deposits, leading scientists to assume they exclusively inhabited oceans. But Palaeocampa flips that assumption on its head, suggesting that lobopodians had already begun exploring new ecological niches long before their eventual extinction. This discovery serves as a powerful reminder of the untapped potential lurking within museum archives. Specimens collected generations ago can still yield groundbreaking insights when viewed through the lens of modern science. As Richard Knecht aptly puts it, sometimes the biggest discoveries are the ones waiting to be looked at again. And this is the part most people miss. How many other hidden gems might be sitting unnoticed in dusty drawers around the world? Are we overlooking entire chapters of Earth's history because we haven't revisited old data with new tools? As you ponder these questions, consider sharing your thoughts below. Do you think Palaeocampa represents a missing link in animal evolution, or is it merely one piece of a much larger puzzle? Your input could spark meaningful discussions and inspire others to look closer at the past. Source: Communications Biology.
2. 10038 S42003 025 https://2.org/10.1038 S42003-025-08483-0.
Want to stay updated on the latest scientific breakthroughs? Subscribe now to receive curated content straight to your inbox. Oldest known non-marine lobopodian fossil discovery. Imagine opening a museum drawer and finding a fossil that rewrites what we know about early life on Earth. That's exactly what happened with Palaeocampa anthrax, a specimen at Harvard's Museum of Comparative Zoology, MCZ, that spent more than a century masquerading under various identities. First classified as a caterpillar when it was described in 1865, this enigmatic creature spent decades ricocheting through scientific categories, thought to be a worm, a millipede, and even a marine polychaete, until its true nature was finally unmasked 130 years later. But here's the real twist. It's now recognized as the earliest and oldest non-marine lobopodian known to science. So what exactly is a lobopodian? For many, this term might sound unfamiliar. Lobopodians are strange, soft-bodied creatures that form a critical evolutionary bridge between simple, worm-like animals and today's arthropods. Groups that include insects and crustaceans. Classic examples, like Hallucigenia and Aschia pedunculata from Canada's famous Burgess Shale, have captivated scientists and the public alike, largely because until recently, these animals were only found in ancient sea deposits from over 500 million years ago. But here's where it gets controversial. New research shows that Palaeocampa anthrax lived in freshwater habitats, far from the oceans, shattering our previous assumptions about where these creatures thrived. The breakthrough comes from a recent study led by Richard Knecht, a former Harvard PhD student, now a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Michigan. Knecht and his colleagues returned to Palaeocampa with fresh eyes, ultimately reclassifying it as the first known lobopodian to have lived outside marine environments. What's even more remarkable is that this fossil is about 50 million years older than any previously known lobopodian from the Burgess Shale, pushing back our timeline for this group's evolution. Lobopodians must have been widespread on the ancient seafloor, said Knecht. Until now, we believed only microscopic relatives, like tardigrades, and velvet worms ever left the ocean behind. Knecht's discovery happened somewhat by accident while he was studying fossilized millipedes in the MCZ's collections. Noticing the unique arrangement of limbs along the body, limbs present on every trunk segment, he realized the fossil couldn't be a simple caterpillar or worm, but was instead a member of this elusive, extinct group. To cement their findings, Knecht's team examined 43 specimens from two remarkable fossil sites: Mason Creek in the United States and Montceau-les-Mines in France. Using cutting-edge technology, including advanced scanning electron microscopy and energy dispersive spectroscopy, they revealed exquisite details. Nearly 1,000 hair-like spines covering the entire body, providing insight into the animal's possible lifestyle. But this is the part most people miss. A key collaborator, physicist Nanfang Yu from Columbia University, used Fourier-transform infrared spectroscopy to detect traces of chemicals still clinging to the fossil spines. The presence of these residues suggests that Palaeocampa could have used toxic secretions as a defense mechanism, an advanced survival strategy for a tiny creature living in challenging swampy terrain. Co-author Yu marveled at the preservation. It's astonishing that fragments of ancient biomolecules, or their altered descendants, can be found in such old fossils. This proves our analytical methods are sensitive enough to distinguish actual fossil material from the surrounding rock. Comparisons with other lobopodians show fascinating differences. Palaeocampa's closest kin appears to be Hadronax, a much older Cambrian-era relative from Greenland. Both animals had 10 pairs of legs, lacked claws, and were blind, But there the similarities end. Hadronax was a soft, deep-sea dweller, while 4-centimeter-long Palaeocampa bristled with defensive spines and roamed ancient freshwater settings, possibly venturing onto land much like modern velvet worms. One of the most intriguing implications of the study is its resolution of a long-standing mystery surrounding the Montceau-les-Mines fossil site in France. The site, located far inland and without any evidence of an oceanic setting, produced half of the known Palaeocampa specimens. This finding confirms that this prehistoric animal was truly non-marine and offers an unprecedented insight into freshwater and possibly amphibious life during the Carboniferous period. And now for the controversial question. If Palaeocampa made the leap from sea to land, how many other lobopodians may be hidden, misclassified, in the depths of museum collections around the world? Could the next breakthrough be lurking among unassuming fossils that scientists have long overlooked? Finding soft-bodied organisms like lobopodians fossilized is extraordinarily rare. Most insights come from just a few exceptional deposition sites, called Lagerstätten, like the Cambrian Burgess Shale. The Carboniferous period, when Palaeocampa lived, offers even fewer of these special windows. That makes each new discovery, especially one as striking as this, exceptionally valuable for understanding the journey of life from the seas onto land. Remarkably, the key to this evolutionary puzzle sat in a drawer at the MCZ for generations, just steps from the office of renowned paleontologist Stephen Jay Gould, the very curator who once brought the bizarre Cambrian animals to public attention. Could there be a greater irony? Sometimes the greatest scientific treasures are the ones waiting in plain sight for someone curious enough to look again, Connect observed. So now, let's turn the debate over to you. What other evolutionary surprises might be hiding in museum drawers? Does this discovery upend what we know about how early animals conquered new environments? Or is the picture even more complicated? Share your thoughts and challenge the prevailing theories in the comments below. Are there more secrets still waiting for us to find? For those wanting more details, see the full study, Palaeocampa anthrax, an armored freshwater lobopodian with chemical defenses from the Carboniferous, in Communications Biology, 2025, DOI 10.1038/S42003-025-08483-0.